So what we are going to see today, it's going to be basically 3 suggestions for those who are going to participate in Olympiads, whether it's national, provincial, zonal, school, international, whatever the levels. These 3 suggestions would really help you in preparation as well as in terms of performance during the exam. So that's what we are going to see today. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the number 1 suggestion I would say for those who are going to write the paper is going to be about time. So especially I'm focusing for the Cat 3 students. Cat 1, Cat 2, it still applies, but Cat 3 students, more than intelligence, more than preparation, more than performance, you all need strategy to perform well on this. And the first aspect that we are considering under those strategies is going to be about the time. Always know the model of the exam you are going to face. So what I mean by when we consider the national level, especially the national level, these are the things that you have to consider to fine-tune your performance. So what are those things? As I have mentioned, always know your paper structure. When it comes to national levels, the paper would be consistent with 15 short answer questions, where you just have to write the final answer. With 2 essay questions, where the grading, the marks allocation would be more toward the solution you provide rather than the answer you give. Yeah. So that would make up the paper, and you have to do all of these questions, at least theoretically speaking, within 1 hour and 13 minutes. And those short answer questions, each carrying 4 marks, give you 60 marks in total. And those 2 essay questions, each carrying 20 marks, gives you 40 marks in total, adding up to the 100, which the paper would be set for. So that's the first and foremost thing you'll have to know before going to the exam, because that thing would allow you to structure your strategy in regarding of the problem solving during the examination. The second thing, practice. So what I mean by practice here, whatever the competition you're going to, whether it's Olympiads, whether it's some sports, whether it's an artistic talent, there would be specific drills. There would be specific things that if you do, you are going to perform way better than anyone else could be presented there. Because the nature of the competition is biased or designed in that way to reward those who have practiced specific aspects of the domain on which the competition is based on. Olympiads, they are not different. So when you consider the national level, the mathematical Olympiad, this is how they are biased. When you do the past exam papers of the national levels, you will get a really good sense of how the questions are evolving each and every year. The general trend is such that the national level questions difficulty, they are getting lower and lower with each successive consecutive year. And that trend kind of stabilizes in the recent years, making it more, not lower these days per se, but it going on a level which is very much doable in relation to the previous. So that's a specific trend that's observable. And to actually capture the marks from those questions, what you have to really do is do the recent year past papers, and you would spot the specific concepts around which the problems are mostly based on. The keyword most, almost 70% of the questions you can really answer if you can solve most of the past exam papers. And in addition to that, there are certain competitions, questions from which are so popular and prominent in the national level papers as well as international level papers. It doesn't hurt to do those questions, not all of them, but specific aspects of them. to prepare well for the national levels as well. SMO Singapore Mathematical Olympiad, HKIM Hong Kong International Mathematical Olympiad, as well as TIM Thailand IM, a few of those competitions, preparing for which the questions, if you go through them, it would really prepare for you the national levels as well. So that aspect, that strategical practicing, it would really set you apart in your performance as well. The third thing, the mindset. When we say about mindset, it's not that confidence boasting kind of a mindset you need to really do well in Olympics. Neither it is that naive, absolutely clueless mindset either. What you want is a balance. You have to strike a balance to perform well without getting into illusions and delusions. So what's the mindset that would really help before each of these Olympiad competitions? No, well, Olympiads are structured to be difficult, at least relatively speaking. They are not easily doable without preparations when you go to the higher level, though in the lower levels, it's relatively doable. So when you base your satisfaction, when you base your value or how much the perception of how much smart you are on the performance of Olympiad, you are going to get super disappointed. Because the questions are such that even if you prepare really well, it would be really challenging you to do really well. Because of this fact, going there and seeing the questions can really put you in a state with a lot of pressure, a state where you are not at ease, and that pressure, that additional pressure, would itself degrade your performance if you are not clear with what you are doing. So what's the suggestion? Always before exams, remind yourself your happiness is not going to be based on your performance there, neither on the preparation you have done there, neither on anyone's preparation or anyone's performance, nor on anyone's validation. This would remove a ton of external pressure from you. And that removal, that liberation, that would allow you to really perform on your peak without, even if there is doubt, you would really perform on your peak without that external sabotaging pressure. So always know that it's not about confidence per se, it's about being okay with whatever happens and still performing excellently, and that requires the removal of unnecessary pressure, and that comes from realizing and acknowledging your satisfaction is not going to be based upon performance, and that's a very fundamental thing. In the end, always remember to stay calm during your preparation as well as performance, and prepare with clarity when you do, and you will for sure excel to the level you are managing. Thank you.